got him. And the show has started. Armani, why do you like to play in my puss wazzies before we get up here on this politically incorrect? Guys, gals,
Mm.
and guests, honey, yes, honey. I hope you're ready to relieve some stress, honey, with your best, honey. Your girl Bre Starr in the building, politically incorrect. King Tranny in the building. Introduce yourself, Armani.
It is I, Armani Dae. What's good, y'all?
Ow! Ow! Puss what now? Can you answer my question that I started with? Is the question. Why you like to
What is your question?
why you like to play in my puss wazzies?
I have not played in your Puswa as of yet, okay?
Oh, 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 slander and propaganda. Oh my god. What? Yes. Yes. Armani, you know I'm an equal opportunity kind of girl, honey. And if I ain't getting up in you, you ain't getting up in me, honey.
What kind of business is that? You need to change your business.
What? Oh my god, no. I feel like hell no, I feel like the advantage of a transgender man is his front hole, is that bonus hole, that extra.
Oh my God.
Baby,
What
that
is going on?
oh my god. When I tell you it is past relationships that y'all wonder why I was in or why I stayed in, it's probably because it was some good puss involved. I'm telling you, I ain't telling you no bullshit. I ain't lying to you. It was probably some good puss involved. For me, honey, you can replace a dick, honey. A couple of fingers can replace most people's dick out here anyway, honey. These niggas don't be work. These crackers especially. Oh, Asians. We not even going to talk about our Cheech and Chongs,
Oh
honey.
my God.
But
Is this how you starting this goddamn episode? What the fuck?
this is how we starting this episode, honey. You the one who said that you ain't got up in these cakes yet, honey. I ain't heard no talk of me getting up in no cakes. So, honey, I don't know what you talk about, honey. It's a foreign language to me.
I was prompted with a question and I answered it. Okay, don't you just take this shit and go where the fuck you want to go with it. Okay, what the fuck?
Oh my God. But you know that I'm a sex counselor. You know that I'm a sex psychologist. You know that this is my thing,
Oh my gosh.
This is my space to talk about sex. I can't talk about it anywhere else, honey.
Yeah,
This
so
is
just talk about the shit with me on the motherfucking line. Jesus, cheese and crackers.
I mean, you know, that's what was
No.
that's what was brought up in the group chat. That's what was brought up in the politically incorrect group chat. It was
Oh.
it was a black poly couple, and this white man walked up, asked if they were together. They said they were poly. He said poly want a cracker. Now, so the people don't think I'm lying. Can you verify or deny whether you sent me that video in the group chat?
Oh my God. Yes, I did send it to you because I thought the shit was hilarious.
Baby, I thought it was hilarious, but no shade, honey. I wish I was involved, honey. It's no.
Oh my
I wish
God.
the poly couple did want a cracker, and I wish that I was invited as well.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Why do
my
you wish
God!
this? Why do you wish that you was invited, Bree? What the hell is going on?
You know that group play is my king. Don't you know? Do you not know that? Or one of
Um,
or one of my kings.
right this second, I don't know if I remember, but I'm quite sure you told me since I know every damn thing else.
Yeah, you should know, and I'm sure I've mentioned it at some point in America. You know what I mean? Um,
Oh Lord.
but now let me put my mic closer. Cause it looked like they catching you better than they catching the puss.
Yes, catch the king.
They is catching you, or maybe you just hollering. I don't know what's going on. But
I'm hollering because my throat is sore, but we got to get the people what they need to hear. So I got to project my voice a little bit. You know, I'm laying here with this goddamn heating pad on my body and eating a hog. And so I want to make sure the people can hear me.
I'm glad that you're concerned about the people hearing you, but I told you one time before that if you keep the strap from hitting your tonsils, then you won't keep having these throat and vocal cord problems.
I know you motherfucking lying. Don't you lie to these goddamn people. Ain't shit in this motherfucking throat as of now, but some motherfucking food, toothbrush, all that kind of shit. You better get out of my motherfucking face. And even before, as of now, ain't no goddamn strap ever touch this motherfucking throat. Okay? Now get your shit together.
You call yourself a freak and you mean to tell me that you ain't sucked some juice off a strap before?
Why the fuck would I be doing that? Why the fuck would I be doing that when I can suck a puss, I can suck a ass, I can suck... I'm not going there with you. I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it because you trying to psych me into fucking answering these questions. You think your motherfucking psychology ass over there, whatever the fuck, is going to psych me into answering your shit? Absolutely not. Not the fuck on today.
Let me find out you one of them people that be getting psychologists confused with psychic. I can't force you to say nothing that ain't true, motherfucker. Honey?
That ain't what the fuck I said. You asking me shit to psych me into answering the shit like that. Not about force. I didn't say that. And no, I don't get the shit mixed up.
We ain't got time to argue. We ain't got time to argue on these people's time. You asked, why would you be sucking on dirty strap?
Oh my god.
The same reason any of us suck on a dirty strap. You know what I mean, honey? Because it's juices on that strap that you can't reach with your lips and tongue, honey, unless you got some Cardi B shit going on I don't know about or something.
Oh my god. Back to what the fuck I asked you. Why did you want to be a part of the black poly couple and the white man came in and asked did Polly want a cracker? Why did you need to be a part of that? What the fuck? That's what we talking about.
Oh, I didn't need to be a part of it, honey. I would have been fine recording. You know what I mean? You a fool, honey.
So you like to watch? That's what you telling me? You telling us that you like to watch?
Oh, I'm a bit voyeuristic. There are a couple of things that I like about, or a couple of dynamics that I like when it comes to group play. And don't get me wrong, if my future spouse is listening, honey, you know, in case the relationship I got now, in case this man ever want to leave me, and you want a possibility with Bre Starr, but you like, hell no, I'm monogamous. Monogamy is an option for me as well. I just want to make that clear. I don't need group dynamics, honey. That's what they make porn for. Like.
Oh God. You said monogamy is an option for you. I know that's right.
Absolutely.
I know that's right.
To be completely honest, I've been most happy in the monogamous relationships that I've had. Believe it or not, I'm not poly at all. I don't play that game. Having extra sex partners outside of my primary sex partner does not mean I'm in love with you, trying to be in love with you, or trying to develop feelings for you. I think that there are very few people who are genuinely polyamorous. I think that polyamory is extremely rare in actuality. However, it is a trend, and it's very trendy amongst the LGBTQs. However, I am a whore. I am a slut. And I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the idea that I don't mind sharing my partner or my partner sharing me.
Y'all heard it first. Y'all heard it live here. She is a slut. Did you hear that? So when I call her that, y'all shut y'all damn mouths, okay? Because she done told you. She done told you.
I'm a sex counselor. How in the hell could that happen if I'm not sexually experienced? Stop playing.
You could be sexually experienced and not be a slut. What?
Well, I'm slutty in the sense of that being one of my kinks. That I'm open to.
Oh.
I'm open to ethical non-monogamy. I'm not into cheating. Again, if I am monogamous with somebody, then I'm sexually satisfied with them. I wouldn't enter a monogamous relationship without knowing that that person could satisfy me sexually. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, so I have been most happy in my monogamous relationships. I feel like for me the bonds have been closer. However, I am freaky in the sense that I'd be open to sharing my partner or, inviting somebody else into the bedroom. Um, for me, experimenting in with non-monogamy, I realized that I didn't have that jealousy. Like that's just innately not me. I don't have that jealousy when it comes to sharing a partner sexually. However, I'm not comfortable with sharing a partner emotionally, even though I may be open to group play and things like that. I'm only interested in having one romantic partner that I'm devoted to at a time. Any other sexual partners that I have, the most that we could be is really close friends.
Oh, I know that's right. I
Yes.
know that's right. And thank you for clearing that up because some people they take the bits and pieces of what you say and they run with it. So thank you for clearing that up. And I want to also say that so it's somewhat the same for me. Like I could share my partner, share myself, as long as it's something that is, mutually agreed upon, all of that. Like I've had plenty of threesomes throughout my life. I haven't ever been in open relationships or anything. However, there was a moment where I was I had permission from someone's wife to sleep with him because she was moving across the country. And so once she left, we started spending time together, being intimate, having sex, all the things or whatever. And I did catch feelings for him. And then it was his time to leave like 6 months later. And I was a little bit upset about it. So that was like really the only time where I was in something like that essentially, but not to where I had a partner and we agreed to be open or to bring other people in besides, having those threesomes that I mentioned. But I'm open to trying those things to seeing where it goes, if it works, if I like it, if I don't like it. I've just always had a part of me that was like, maybe this wouldn't be so bad because I can love multiple people. I can have relationships with multiple people, like all at once. Like I've been able to do those things without issue on my end and not always necessarily issue on other people's end. But some people, they can't share. They don't want to. That's usually people's word. Like, I don't want to share. I don't want to share. And it's like, oh, okay. But emotionally, I don't think that that's been a bother to me unless the person was like cheating emotionally. Like if you tell me that there is someone else and y'all are very close, whatever it is, it doesn't even have to involve sex. You just talk to somebody else, but you're also talking to me, and y'all have this closeness where y'all share like private information. You share intimate times, things like that. Again, without sex. Like I'm cool. Excuse me, as long as you tell me. If you don't tell me, then I have to find out from them or from somebody. Then now I feel some type of way because you always have the opportunity and the floor to share with me what's going on, because I would do the same thing with you, and that would be something that we would mutually agree on. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, that's the way that's the way it definitely should be. These, conversations should be discussed. And even though polyamory isn't for me, and even though I realize that it is more trendy than it is actual, even though I realize that people use the word and the name polyamory and the culture and the community of polyamory. People use it out of context very often. You know, for me specifically, I realized that polyamory didn't work for me when I was in a polyamorous relationship, and yeah, or I was in a relationship and we were attempting polyamory, right? But for me, ultimately, it's a thing where if I have a partner, I have a partner. Just because I have sex with you doesn't make you a partner. A partner is somebody who, or doesn't make you my partner in life, I should say, because technically it makes you a sexual partner, but not a partner in life. My partner in life, this is somebody who I'm committed to. This is somebody who I'm sharing my life with. Ultimately, this is somebody who's going to come before any other sex partner, and that's the dynamic that I need in a relationship. I need that to be mutual. I need that to be understood. Um, for me, I don't feel security in a relationship where my partner is looking for love outside of me. I don't feel security in a relationship with somebody who's genuinely polyamorous and who genuinely wants to be in love with multiple people, because that's not how my brain and my heart operates. And in order for a relationship to be successful, you have to have certain things in common, like relationship ideals and standards. But again, like I was attempting to say earlier, I'm not against, even though polyamory isn't for me, I'm not against people trying it, even though I know it's more trendy than people are actually than there are true people who are actually poly. I know people use the word in vain. However, I don't see anything wrong with people experimenting with polyamory. I don't see anything wrong with that being part of your journey as a person, part of your sexual journey, part of your romantic journey, but whatever. If you're curious about it, like genuinely for your own purposes, I suggest doing it. The biggest advice that I give as a psychologist is that you never allow yourself to be forced into polyamory. Never do it for any reasons outside of yourself. Never do it to please somebody else. Never do it because you're scared a partner is going to leave you. And also, if you're somebody who entered in a monogamous relationship and one day you offer polyamory as an ultimatum to your partner, like, look, we're either going to be poly or I'm going to leave you after already being monogamous, and this person's in love with you, I think you're a trash ass person for that. I think that if you are somebody who is even questioning polyamory, you should bring you should bring that up early in dating. Yeah. Make these things known. My issue with a lot of people, and with a lot of things that I talk shit about, is communication.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, and you brought that up. You know what I mean? Communication is key. Like, people apparently don't believe those cliches, or they want to try and defy those cliches, but cliches are cliches for a reason, because they hold true. Communication is key in any relationship.
It really is. It really is. And I stress communication like a motherfucker as being, you and I being friends, as me being your manager. If we don't fucking communicate, ain't shit gonna get done, and we not gonna understand each other, and nothing is gonna work. And so the same way that I treat our relationships, I treat my relationships, but I can honestly admit that I might be a little bit more harder on my partner when it comes to communication, because I not only want for you to communicate, I need for you to communicate with me. how I can't read your mind, and that's a problem that I see a lot of people do in relationship and in relationships that I've been in. They expect for you to, oh well, I thought you knew me, I thought you loved me. So the fuck what? I can't read your mind. I might know some things because it's a common thing, or because I've been around you for so long and I'm used to certain things about you, and I can what people say kind of figure you out, sure, but it's really a fucking guessing game. Like I cannot read your mind. You have to communicate.
Nobody should ever expect anybody to read their fucking mind. If you do have somebody in your life who can read your mind, then consider yourself lucky and send that motherfucker to the Xavier School for Gifted Kids, honey. Cause that motherfucker is an X-Men. But communication is everything, because a motherfucker don't know who you are unless you tell him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just like, listen, you could be with somebody for 10 years and all of a fucking sudden that motherfucker show up as a serial killer or anything. You never really know somebody. That shit is fucking true. Because people sometimes don't even really know them fucking selves.
Exactly.
Because you can fucking snap. Like, you literally can fucking snap at any moment.
Exactly. However, I don't, and that's another thing. I don't see anything wrong with people being on a journey in life. I don't have the expectation for any human to know exactly who they are in every way, shape, or form. I don't expect that at all. However, I do expect you to be honest about things that you may be unsure about, especially if they can impact me when we're involved in any form of intimate relationship.
Yeah. My last relationship, I literally was sometimes I feel like I shared too much, or that I was I was the older person in the relationship. I think I was like 4 or 5 years older. But I would communicate how important communication was. Like, you have to talk to me. You have to tell me things, and I'm going to be open with you. I'm going to tell you things. I don't want to assume, and I don't want to try to read your mind. Like, you have to talk. We have to talk about these things, and neither one of us should run away from the conversation or whatever the problem may be. And also, just because for me, just because I had a past of, being highly sexual, which come to learn as an adult, it was because I was battling, depression and gender identity and all those things, which is why I was, so heavy into sex to cope with those things. But because I had that past, this person could not see past that and would always assume and accuse that I was cheating whole time. This person was cheating on me. But the even more fucked up part about it is I offered, because I was the first, this was a cis woman, by the way, so y'all know it's a cis woman. I was the first trans man that she'd been in a relationship with. And so I offered her options. I said, okay, because we live in different states and I know that this is the first time you've been in a situation like this, you can either have one woman, that you can do whatever with. When you can't get to me, just tell me. Just tell me about it is all I ask, and make sure you stay up on getting tested, all that, whatever. Or we can open up our relationship. We can have some type of openness that we talk about, whatever. And to clarify, we did enter this relationship as a monogamous relationship. However, we both expressed that we would be open to possibly doing some type of openness at some point, maybe. So like we clarified that with each other in the beginning. And or the third option was that we would it would just be us. It would just be us. And her reaction was, no, I don't want you doing it. I don't want you doing it. But in the moment, all I heard was, I don't want us doing it. But what she really says, I don't want you doing that. And she was the one cheating on me with a woman, even though I had offers those options. And in the same thing goes for her pressuring me into becoming boyfriend and girlfriend and being fiancés, getting engaged faster when I kept saying, I don't think we're ready, we should take time, whatever. Now I'm grown. I can admit that I could have just said no. I kept pushing it off a little bit and then I started feeding into it. So I'll always hold myself accountable, but I was pressured into setting titles for this relationship. And also I was lied to, cheated on, all the things when I had offered to try alternatives so that we could possibly remain in this relationship and be happy and be honest and open.
I take it. I take it. I diggy down. No, a lot of people. Damn, Armani, I forgot what I was going to say, and I feel like it was important. I was too busy doing production shit in the background. My God, honey, don't judge me. Don't judge the life of the puss. But no, I get the whole ethical non-monogamous piece. I get the whole non-monogamous piece. If you're long distance, one of my relationships, the one lesbian relationship that I've been in, which Armani claimed he didn't know about. But the one lesbian relationship that I've been in, and a lot of y'all might not realize about her or know about her because it was a great relationship. She was a great person. It just yeah, so I don't have any story to tell, but I've talked about her before in content, and had nothing negative to say. I talked about my other ex, um, cis guy. The first person I ever dated was a cis guy, and he was a great person. Mook, I've talked about Mookie, and people, I just don't have anything bad to say about him, and that's why I be reminding people, like, if I talk shit about somebody, I got a reason. Because it's a whole bunch of people that I'm always big up in. It's a whole bunch of people that I do appreciation posts for all the time. So if I'm saying if I'm saying something bad, honey, that it might be a warning to you. No, straight up, it's a warning to you. If I post some bullshit about somebody, honey, that's a warning for you to watch out for their motherfucking ass. It's no shade. But I know that's right. But no, that was a long distance relationship, a bi-coastal relationship actually. What? Yeah, Lord. She is from and still lives in Houston, Texas. Mm, mm, mm. Yeah. So I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off, but I think for me, for Armani, not y'all, but for Armani, I think that long distance relationships are very inhumane because I know what I need and require. So for me, I think that shit is inhumane. But go ahead. No, I agree with you. I am not a fan of long distance relationships. And again, I know because I've tried it. Just like I know I'm not a fan of polyamory. I know because I've tried it, and again, that's why I said, how could I ever fault anybody, for trying anything, I've experimented with some of the dumbest shit like drugs and tobacco. You know what I mean? I still have an incredible nicotine addiction, which Armani is very aware of now that he spent more than a couple hours with me. Jesus. Yeah, so you know what I mean? Goddamn chimney over here. Honey, Smokey and the Bandit resides here, honey. Oh God! Wait, Bree. So let me ask you a question because I know acquiring minds, and I'm sure the people's thinking. So you would never try poly again, as far as you're concerned. As far as you're concerned, you would never try poly again. Well, or you may consider it. For me, of course I've already thought about this because I'm a Virgo and I live in my fucking head. So of course I've already thought about it, and for me, it's a possibility. It's not something that It's not something that I want, that I desire, that I'm looking for, that I would even be looking forward to. But it is a possibility. For example, if I were to be married, because I don't believe in divorce, which is why I've never been in a love marriage, because I knew that all the motherfuckers I knew I would divorce. Um, for me, if I was in a marriage, and if I do fall in love with somebody enough to marry them, or you know, or it's consistent enough, the relationship is healthy enough to marry them, and let's say something happens to them or something happens to me, a medical thing, a health thing, an accident, and we're unable to be sexual, or we're unable to satisfy the other person sexually.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't divorce my spouse, honey. You just gonna have to, I would give you license to go out and make it work. And if you are a demisexual person, then that means that you're somebody who will have to have an emotional connection in order to be sexually attracted to somebody. Um,
Mm.
if that's the case,
Educate the people. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
if that's the case, and you are one of those people, then yeah, I that's an example where it's a possibility. Um, and vice versa for me. If that happened to my partner, I'd want them to be open to the idea of me um, being able to seek sexual gratification or sexual satisfaction from someone outside of them, if they, for whatever reason, were incapable of providing that. Because that's a huge thing for me. I am, that stereotype is true about me when it comes to trans girls. I am horny, especially being the fact that I'm one of the girls that don't do estrogen consistently. I'm not a weekly shot kinds of girl, and that's because I don't want to lose bottom functioning and all that, um, and all the things that comes with it. For me, not everybody experiences those things, but
Mm-hmm.
for me, I naturally produce a little bit more estrogen than that average person assigned male at birth. So, everybody's hormone regimen is different for that reason, and that's why you need to go to an endocrinologist, because you may not have the typical system,
Right.
the typical endocrine system. But yeah, so that's the only way it's really a possibility for me, Armani, is if I'm married and I'm not divorcing. I've already got it in my head that if I marry somebody, even if we don't want to be together, we not getting divorced. So I guess that would be an example of polyamory.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And but you still have yet to try polyamory.
Bre, I have to get into something, I guess, serious with someone to do that. Like me and the people, or me and the person, or however it starts to form.
Yeah, I thought
That
about
has
it.
to,
I thought about it after
and
I said it.
and so that has been the problem. Like, and I'm not, again, I'm always going to hold myself accountable. So I know that in the past few years, I've had a lot of self healing. Like, I've had to heal. I've moved, I had to start over, had to redo my whole financial. Like, there was a lot of things that I needed to focus on before I could focus on, oh yeah, let me go get in a relationship, or let me, like, I needed to focus on me. And a lot of people forget to do that because they're so focused on, oh, I'm lonely, I need a person, I need people, I need it. It doesn't mean that I didn't yearn for that, because I did. But I knew that taking care of myself and affirming, and just setting some foundation and all that for myself was more important. Because why would I go into a relationship with one or multiple people, um, knowing that my life was fucking scrambled eggs? you know?
Baby, honey, Honey,
I
I wish more people, more men especially thought like that. Trans men absolutely included. Whenever I talk about men, trans men are included. Just know that. But I wish more men thought with their big brain more than the brain in their pants. You know, more than they dick. I wish niggas thought less what they dick for real. I wish men in general thought less what they dick. But of course, being trans, I absolutely understand how testosterone works and and how it affects a person's sexuality and common sense. You know, sometimes those urges and cravings are extremely intense.
Yep.
However, one's inability to control themselves is definitely a personality flaw. It's a human flaw. It's something that I suggest you work on. Honey, get you some help, get you a therapist. If you have impulse control issues when it comes to sex, which I see is very common in our community, which is to be expected. It's to be expected. In the LGBTQ community, most of us deal with sexual or identity suppression. You know what I mean? A lot of us have grown up with no examples of queer love, you know, no examples of love with people that look like us. So it's a lot of factors on top of hormones, you know,
Yep.
on top of seeking love via sex. You know what I mean? Because that's real, y'all. And I definitely want y'all to know that hypersexuality can be and commonly is a form of expressed mental illness.
Mm.
It very much is, you know, whether if you're if you're over 25 and you still having issues controlling your sexuality and your sex drive, then it's definitely something I would recommend getting help for. It's definitely something I would recommend digging in yourself about. Like seriously, like ask yourself and find out in yourself what's going on. I know that we live in a culture, especially now, that is extremely oversexed. You know, people misconstrue the word sex positive with oversex. Because sex positive, if we truly were in a more sex positive society, then there would be more people on and aware of PrEP. There would be there would be more people keeping up with their testing and their STD statuses. There would be more people being more open and honest with their partners. There would be more people comfortable in their sexuality. The whole sex positive movement started with the gay rights movement. It kind of was a subset of the gay rights movement initially, because initially it started with the idea of people being comfortable with their sexuality and people having people's sexuality being socially acceptable, it being okay to be gay, being okay to be bi, okay to be however you identify or orient sexual, it's fine as long as you're with another consenting adult.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and that's what it started from, but it became a thing where, you know, now no kink shaming and all of this shit. Like, no shade, some kinks need to be shamed. No, did
How do they need to be shamed and what kinks?
honey, I'm glad you asked, Armani,
Oh
honey.
Lord.
Um anything associated with any type of age play needs
Mm.
is a kink that needs to be side-eyed, a kink that does not need to be supported. Anything involving ancestral role play is I wouldn't say to be shamed, but that's some territory where, you know, it's okay to enjoy these things if again you're with another consenting adult and it's not actually incest.
Okay.
It's okay to have these role plays and these fantasies. However, I wouldn't suggest getting comfortable with them. I wouldn't. I wouldn't suggest it being okay, because anybody who knows anything about any type of vice or indulgence, if not managed, it can go overboard. That's how we get that's how we get people who are extremely obese from overeating. We get people who are extremely skinny from anorexia and conserving their diet or restricting their diet. You have people who get carried away with any substance, from sugar to alcohol, from coke to heroin, from DMT. Now that's the new thing. I'm not sure if you're aware of that, Armani, or the newest thing.
Not really.
Yeah, is again, I'm a firm believer. With my life experience, the motto holds true that it's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Mm. You know what? I'm actually surprised that one of the first two things of as far as kinks that you didn't mention is race play. I'm surprised that you didn't say that.
Oh, see, that's because I got lost in a tangent. That's another one. That's absolutely another one, honey. That motherfucking race play. You but you get the idea just based on the examples that I gave. Yeah, you get the idea, and you understood that race play falls right in there. But to be more but to be more
This is why we have this show, because you and I, we are aligned in so many ways of thinking. Obviously, you are more knowledgeable than I am in so many ways, and I'll wholeheartedly say that because I also learn from you. But we see a lot of things the same, or we think the same in a lot of ways, or we just have experienced some similar shit. And even if not, we teach each other, we learn from each other, and we have these conversations for us, but also for other people. To learn from, to be exposed to hear all the things. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the reason that I give the particular warnings that I gave, with the age play, for example, age play is specifically linked to pedophilia. Incest play is specifically linked to pedophilia, and not to mention, incest is taboo, and it's taboo for a reason. We're not set up to do that. That causes issues. And I know for a lot of queer people, believe it or not, I know a lot of queer people who feel comfortable with the idea of incest because they have homosexual sex, so they're not concerned about procreating. But
Oh Lord.
yeah. I remember when I was young, because like most kids in America, I was exposed to sex very early via porn. Um, and exposed to sexual taboos very early. And I didn't 100% process it when I was younger, but I'll never forget, it was a black market, gay porno, made by Treasure Island Media. Now I think they go by like Tim Tales, TIM, or whatever. It's usually mostly white guys. Yeah, it's usually mostly white guys. Your typical strung out looking white white gays. Everything from the twinks to the chubs. You know what I mean? To the bears and the chubs. Um, but yeah, it was two brothers. It was two brothers, and I'll never forget it because it was etched into my memory. At that time, I knew it was something different about it, and something about it felt very wrong. But of course, I didn't catch all of the nuances that I catch now. Like, I didn't catch the fact that it was black market, that you could only find it via servers, via navigating servers. You couldn't. It wasn't just available on Treasure Island Media website, and it also didn't have their. At the time, I didn't even know what watermark was, but it didn't have their watermark in it. But you knew that, looking back, I knew that it was one of their videos, or even from the time of seeing it, I knew it was one of their videos because their videos were super popular at the time that I was introduced to gay porn. So
wow.
Yeah, so it was the actors were familiar, even recognized the voice of the camera guy, because one of the things that they did, and probably still do in their films, they would have conversations.
Oh,
It
I was
would
gonna say like commentary, like director's commentary or whatever, but okay.
Yeah, that too. It was very personable. Their porn, the one thing about their porn, and when I do come across their porn, even now today, sometimes I'll watch, because the biggest thing about their porn, and the reason why I think that they're so popular, and the reason why they have their niche and why they've lasted so long in the gay adult industry, is because with all of their actors, it seemed like they genuinely enjoy being there. Like, they're people who just, yeah, they're people who are just freaky, horny men. Like, it's just a bunch of freaky, horny men that's just down for whatever, and down to try at least anything once. And they really just love being there. Like, I don't know about you, but I get it's very amateur. Their actors read very amateur, and the porn itself reads very amateur, but high quality. High quality camera, various angles, multiple cameras.
Wow.
Actors that are attractive and have various looks. People who you will find attractive even if you're not into white guys. Yeah, all the things, the cut and the uncut. They do have blacks and Latinos and all that sprinkled in all of their throughout all of their videos. So they are inclusive, but
Okay.
but yeah, I think their big thing is I think they focus on getting people who actually just want to have sex. Like, honestly, in watching some of their videos, I realized that in certain occasions they have videos where the people in the porn, in some of the cases, the men in the porn actually paid them to be there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like sex, like basically sex parties that are recorded, and the people who came in, the people who we see from the sex party, are people who not only paid to get in but signed a waiver to be on camera because they wanted to interact in this session overall, or is somebody in particular, or certain people in particular, that they wanted to interact with, maybe sex workers that are harder to come across, or sex workers that are very high paid. It's like, this is your opportunity to have a gang bang with so and so and so, whoever you love, Fat Rabbit Killer, or whoever.
Rabbit killer.
He's the one who's always popular these days. I think he might be transphobic or something, but
Oh Lord.
yeah.
I don't watch porn, Bre, so I don't know.
What?
I don't. Okay, let me clarify. Were you fit? Because I don't want to cut you off and stop you where you were. Were
No,
you
honey, I want
no.
no, honey baby. I want you to explain to us.
Honey baby.
Yeah, honey baby. I want you to explain to us why you don't watch porn, because that sounds taboo to me. Like, that seems abnormal. I don't know
but Bre, you've noticed a lot of things about me are not like everybody else. You've noticed this. Most people,
Yeah.
like I've been known to be very mysterious or different or unique to a lot of people, because I am. We all are, right? But I am. So I'm not going to say that I haven't ever watched porn. Of course I have. I grew a fucking porn addiction at the age of 5 when I first got exposed to the shit. I couldn't stop watching it.
Oh shit! You were exposed hella early. You were probably exposed as early as I was to porn.
At 5, because back then people had like VHS tapes and all that, so when I came across one, I was like, oh, what's this tape? I was a kid, I couldn't really read everything, so I'm just like, oh, what's this? You pop the tape in and you like, oh shit. So I would always watch them because I would want to act out everything that all the men were doing. Like, even though, again, I was 5, so obviously I wasn't identifying as trans, but I knew that I was a little boy. I don't give a fuck when nobody told me. I knew what I felt. I knew what I just knew. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, when I get old enough, I'm going to do everything that I see the men doing, all of it. And so I was like laser focused on all the things that they do, which is probably partly why I'm good at what I do when I do it. But anyway, so
that explains a lot, honey. That explains one of the things that explains it. Makes sense on why you're a top.
Okay, if you say so. I mean, that I never said that I didn't try to be verse or bi. I never said that I didn't.
Oh, let me find out.
They're gonna have to pay me for that information anyway.
Oh, let me find out you backpedaling on live, honey. Let me find out. Ooh.
They got to pay me for that information. Matter of fact, you got to buy my books to read it because I talked about it. So anyway, yeah. Shout outs to me. Go to Armani Dae.
They are paying us if they listening to this episode, honey.
I said get the book. You want to get the book. The book is telling you anyway. No, but I have tried things. Obviously, just like you mentioned earlier. I'm going to finish what I was saying, but just like you mentioned earlier, that like, that you don't like certain things because you have tried. I know that I don't like certain things because I have tried. But what you said about this could explain partly why I'm a top is because of me being like laser focused and watching porn and specifically focusing on how men interacted in these porns. It's very possible that is a small percentage of why. It's very possible. However,
I wouldn't say why. Let me clarify. I don't think I said why, but or if I did say why, I misspoke. I think that your hyper focus on men interacting sexually or you playing that male role interacting sexually, that could be an early sign of you being a top or being more innately top.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessarily the cause or cure, you know what I mean?
And also too, that, of course, I didn't find any gay porn that I can remember. It was always, heterosexual porn. Anyway, but as I grew older and I was like searching for it and I knew like kind of where to look for it, like I did eventually come across gay porn, and that I prefer that more than any like. And when I say gay, I mean like two men. I don't know if anybody had ever been like knowingly trans in these videos, but it was always two men.
Two cis guys
in these videos, right? Two cis men. But again, like I said, I don't know if anybody was knowingly trans at the time, because at this time I was so young. So this was before like all the trans men that do porn now, or that were doing porn in like the late 90s. I was so young, or the early thousands rather. I was so young. I can't remember everything from then, but the stuff when I came across gay male porn, which is typically two cis men, from what you would assume, I enjoy that so much better. But with me being as I guess freak in nature or freaky, whatever you want to call it, I like to explore regardless of whoever. It's just I also still somewhat would do exactly what I saw in those movies, regardless of who the person I was with. I didn't care about how they identify. I knew the things that I enjoyed doing with whoever, and it was kind of like, for the most part, repeated with each partner. I didn't do everything the same way with everybody, but some things were repeated, like me being a top. It was repeated with most of the people that I've been, that I've had sex with. What the hell else was I saying? Jesus Christ!
Honey,
See, I'm over here sick.
you
Oh,
don't
the
know
other
what
one.
you don't
The
you
other
don't know
one.
what you're saying.
I got the other thing that I was saying is as an adult now, I don't watch porn. However, oh God, y'all in my business, guys. Y'all got me telling my business.
You ain't have to tell it, honey.
It's too late.
You
It's
know,
too late. No, I don't care. Because listen, the purpose of me writing my books and sharing my stories is because I used to be ashamed of all this stuff. Can't near bitch shame me for nothing. And when I get where I'm going, y'all ain't gonna be able to really not shame me because it's like, bitch, you're late. I told that shit 20 years ago when I was broke and ain't had shit. So now that I'm up where I'm at, you can't blackmail me. You can't do shit because I done already told it for you. So try something else. Just saying, because you know they do that to a lot of celebrities or prominent people, and you ain't gonna do that to me because bitch, I done told it already. So try something different. Try another way, or just go about your life and stop trying me. Anyway,
hey, honey,
what the people say, don't try me, try Jesus. Yeah, that.
Honey, never let a motherfucker spray you with your own tea, honey.
Okay, and they won't. So present day, like I said, as an adult, what I do now is sometimes I make my own movies with people, but it's always I have possession of that shit, not really no other people. So I like to watch that.
That's risky business. That is risky business, honey.
So people make videos for me and they send them to me, and so I keep them, stored in little secret places and whatnot. Whatever. And so I like to watch that because I don't. Yeah, so I don't necessarily do that. Now there was a moment a few years ago where I would and yes, I'm gonna say the word sneak. I would sneak on to X, formerly known as Twitter, and I would watch a few of the trans guys that were on it because I like that. I'm pansexual, so I like people in general, but I have a stronger preference for other trans men. Specifically the ones that are verse or bottoms because I like to fuck them. And again, let's clear the air. All trans men are not verse and are not bottoms. So y'all get that shit out your mouths because I know people love to assume and think that all trans men are not verse or bottoms. Don't you think that? Because I am a motherfucking top. Don't play me. Don't try me. Anyway, but most of the trans men that I have been sexually active with, they have been verse or bottoms. So a few of them were tops, and which is why it didn't work out because we both tops. What the fuck we gonna do here? Not that we didn't have fun, but it was like this is not gonna fall into a relationship because this gonna get boring real fast. Like that. Yeah, so I don't watch porn. I either make my own that is not for the internet. And yeah, so that's yeah.
Oh, honey, he said he be slaying the other trans men, honey. He said he be slaying the other trans men, honey. I know it's some of y'all gagging, honey. He said, and he prefer to slay other trans men, honey. Whoa, Lord.
Hey, you make shit so
What in the homosexual is going on this line? What in the homosexual, transsexual is going on this
two boyfriends
line?
They were trans men because I really cared for them. I really did. It was just. And this is why I understand why a lot of people a lot of trans people specifically prefer T for T relationships, which for those of you that doesn't know what T for T is, it's a trans for trans relationship. So both people or all the parties are trans. I get it.
I'm past preferring a motherfucking trans relationship, honey. I prefer T for T dating, honey. I prefer T for T sex, T for T hookups, T for T friends with benefits, honey. All the things. The only reason I ended up with this cis motherfucker is because he's so trans adjacent, honey. If y'all listen to Marsha's plate, honey, then you know that this motherfucker has some very feminine ways and very feminine aesthetics. Yeah.
Oh, or you could not tell me that motherfucker was not trans. I'm like, is this motherfucker trans? And Bre ain't tell me. I mean, not that it's your place to tell me. You know, we don't be outing people, but I'm just saying, this motherfucker is highly trans adjacent. I didn't even know that was a fucking thing, but apparently so.
Child, honey, because I don't put trans on nobody that don't identify as trans. But to me, technically, his presentation alone is very non-binary. Is very switcheroo. You know, one day he could look like a lumberjack, next day he could look like a drag queen. You know what I mean?
Oh Lord.
Because he won't cut that facial hair, so it don't never really be getting puss, honey. It be giving clocking. You know what I mean?
You could be puss with facial hair. Now, look, you know the people gonna try to eat your words up. You know you could be very puss with facial hair. Don't you do it?
Ain't no fishy fish walking around here with no motherfucking facial hair, whether she grows it or not. Honey, that bitch is going to shave that shit before you or anybody else see her. Honey, I'm telling you the motherfucking truth because I was a bitch that could grow a whole Osama beard. But you won't catch neither nary picture, video, or nothing of me with a Osama beard ever in your motherfucking life, honey. And you know why? Because
Osama Lord.
Bitch, Osama bin Laden beard. Oh, motherfucking nasty hang George from the jungle type of beard, honey. Motherfucking Tarzan, honey. I would look like a Hindu baby when I tell you that the people was try to put a red dot on my motherfucking forehead anytime I have on a scarf. They thought it was a turban. Honey, I'm telling you. And then the crazy part is, honey, that's when that multi-ethnicity comes out in my genes. Because, honey, you know you don't see it nowhere else in me. I look 100% black, which I love, honey. Thank you, Jesus, for this slow aging melanin. Huh?
Who told you that?
I look 100% black to me, and I'm the only opinion that matters, honey. Okay. And I'm holding on to that, and I don't care what nobody else said. And yeah, sometimes people do ask me if I'm all black, and you know what I do? I say they done lost their motherfucking mind. So we not even going to do that because, honey, you either black or you not. It ain't no all motherfucking black. Do y'all know how race? Do y'all know how race work? Now, when people ask me properly, you know, what's my ethnicity, then that's a whole conversation that we can have. But, you know, my black...
You know what I believe? I already told you what I believe. We all at least 1% some other shit. I don't give a fuck.
Honey, baby, honey, the Negroes that ain't 1% of something in this motherfucking country, honey, came from Native Africans. But that's again, that's, you know, they motherfuckers that's still claiming Ethiopia and shit, even though, honey, they done been in America they whole motherfucking life. They never even seen Ethiopia outside of summer vacations and shit. You know what I mean? Honey, but they call themselves Nigerian and shit, bitch. Honey, you is not no bitch, you a Baltimorean, honey. Your ethnicity is not Nigerian, bitch. But honey, you don't know Nigeria like Nigeria knows Nigeria, honey. They look at you like an American, bitch. Honey, you better get your black ass life together and realize what the fuck you is.
Oh. Y'all done got her started. Look, see.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
A whole nother topic. Hell no.
You didn't got me started. You didn't got me started. But we closing up because we already, because we already past time, honey. We is already past time. So the only thing that I had left to say, you talked about your introduction to porn, honey. I told you this, Armani. I think before that I was introduced. My first genre of porn that I was introduced to was actually she-male tranny porn. I could not even comprehend what the fuck trans people were. Like I didn't know what was going on. I was just like, oh, okay, some girls have dicks and some men have vaginas. Oh, okay, all right. And I just knew that my whole life and always knew it was a possibility and a thing. I didn't think that I could ever, at first, I didn't think that I could ever, you know, be a tranny. I didn't know that I was a tranny. I didn't know that I was a she-male. You know what I mean? I didn't know that I was giving she-male. You know what I mean? I didn't know I was she-male personified, you know.
Oh goodness.
But I was really enjoying that she-male porn, honey. I think I probably, you brought up your trans man thing. So I think I'll share a little bit and let y'all know that I probably prefer being topped by trans women the most. Or trans femmes.
Oh shit.
Or trans femmes the most. I probably enjoy. I told you for me, it's I like the switching dynamics. Armani.
Oh my goodness.
I like the switching dynamics. That's why the idea of me being with any man who I could never get up in them cheeks, like it's not a possibility ever. Even if I never asked you, even if I never had the craving to get up in your cheeks, but knowing I can't in itself turns me off.
Oh wow. Okay.
And
listen, to each their own. Your preference is your preference.
And the same for any femme that I deal with. The idea that you gotta, or should I say anybody with a dick, the idea that you got a dick and it's not gonna go inside me, we not doing that. The idea that you have a vagine and I'm not going inside that, we not having that. And again, I was first introduced to trans porn when I was probably about 5 years old, to trans, gay, honey, a whole bunch of shit, fetish porn, honey. Y'all know my grandfather was a faggot, honey. Y'all know, honey, my father's a faggot too, honey. Shout out to them faggots, honey. Yeah. Armani, you knew I grew up in a queer household and stuff.
I know that. I know that. It's just the way you be saying it.
Honey, yeah, shout out. My father, fuck that faggot. Honey, shout out to my grandfather. He was a good faggot, I tell you. Honey.
Oh my God.
Honey, in some ways, he was horrible. You know, them times when I found out he used to put his hands on my grandmother. But he was good for never doing it in front of me. And I know that he was bad for being a whore. But that wasn't, and fucking all of his male friends, his homeboys, the whole clique was fucking each other, having group sessions and shit. But honey, outside of that, he was a good man, Savannah. A very good man. You got any final words for the people, Armani?
Oh my goodness. Any final words for the people? Listen, embrace who you are, embrace your kinks and all the things, but you know, some shit just I wouldn't do, but I ain't gonna judge you, and you do what you do. And just remember, anything you do in the dark could come to light. So yeah. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for supporting us. We appreciate y'all. That's all I got.
All right, honey. A good man, Savannah. Peace, love, and blessings to you and yours until we speak again. And we appreciate you for being here. Thank you. And we're gonna get it started because this nigga in here be farting on my line. Vegetarian farts with a vegan heart. Ooh. What the fuck is happening? Please.
They got to hear the cane. Turn me up. Turn my mic up. Ain't that what y'all say in the studio?
Honey, they don't need to be hearing you over me, though, honey. I know that much.
Don't you show off. Don't you show off.
No, don't you show your motherfucking. Don't you hear me?
Why?
Figured it out, Armani, by accident. I don't even know what I done did.
Oh my goodness.
I don't even know what I done did, honey. But whatever I did, I think it's working. All we gotta do is mic check it.